to say.
Hey, Dan, let's talk a little bit.
All right, you guys have, if anybody wants to hand in those discussion questions, bring them on up here. And I'm going to start with door prizes. Back.
Testing.
I found you.
I'm sort of a close mic guy.
Good. Yeah.
I like to use it for effect. Keep talking?
There you
Yes,
go.
yes. I'm going to get a glass of water.
You guys should wait. You guys do your test. Anybody have any last minute entries into the door prize drawing? All right. First door prize. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to call your name and you can just go back there and pick whatever you want and show everybody. First one is to Alex H. And Alex, are you in here? Oh my goodness, she's not here. She's not here. Okay, next one. So Alex misses her chance. Kristen. Woo! Kristen gets one. Sean. Sean gets one. Julie. Julie gets one. Will Smith gets one. Woohoo! Two of our presenters. Awesome. Amanda gets one. All right, Amanda. Actually, the book is not available for door prize.
No.
It's just the tools back there.
I'm so sad.
So, tell me if, are there more back there, Amanda? After Julie chooses hers?
One left.
One left? All right. Last one.
I never remembered.
John. John Thornbury. All right, John, you got it. Great. Thanks, guys. All right. Dan, do you want me to introduce you? Okay. Fiona. She's got it. All right, so now we are doing the Media 101 workshop today here for PACCIN. And I'm going to introduce you next to the geek and the dinosaur. Will and Dan, will you please come up? Come on up, Will. Will Smith is our technical guy, and Dan Gurney is our been there, done that guy.
Tried to do that.
Tried to do that guy, he says. So Will has a degree in music composition from Cornish and writes original music for film, dance, and video games. He provides audiovisual assistance for the Bellevue Arts Museum and does live event production and on-site music recording through his company Hatchback LLC. Despite being one of the youngest people in the room, he has racked up an impressive list of clients including Guilty Jones and Arnie Zane Dance Company, the New York City Ballet, and Shabazz Palace's Black Constellation. So that's Will's creds there. Now Dan has 27 years of experience in many aspects of modern, contemporary, and collections exhibit installation, largely with Henry Art Gallery and at the University of Washington. Most recently, he has begun working as an independent contractor with private businesses, clients, and local arts institutions, including the Seattle Art Museum, the Bellevue Arts Museum, and the Fry Art Museum. He is passionate about the process, improvisation, and creative collaboration necessary in mounting exhibits. So please welcome Will and Dan.
Yeah, but Will and I really didn't have much of a conversation before this.
We had a beer together, but that was about it.
Yeah, an online beer. And so what we're going to do, and I'm glad of this, is I'm going to go first because this guy's going to kill when he comes up. And so we're going to kind of do our things in order, and we can do questions as we go along, or you can wait till both of us are done, and if you got questions, we can do it that way, whatever's comfortable. You can shout out random thoughts even in that regard.
Is this other mic on?
Yeah, you just have to turn it on.
Oh, there we are. Hello.
There he is. Okay. So anyway, we're doing AD 101. For me, it's more like AD 100, or maybe 1899. And so I wanted to start with that guy. Back in the old days at the Henry, you could smoke and move art around, and we did that quite a bit. What I really wanted to start with was, I've been working at Sam this last week, and I came out for lunch yesterday, and there was this bus. And I thought, isn't it nice that we're having some friends from San Francisco visiting us? They can take the Cannabis. The rest of you can go to Ike's. Okay. So, so for those of you in town, welcome. From out of town, and a lot of locals. It's nice to see a lot of local folks. I hope that you are here long enough for those of you that are going to be coming and going, or some that are sort of far away, to visit some of the other institutions, some of who have been employing me lately. So I want to give a shout out to the Fry and to BAM and to Sam and also to the Henry Art Gallery. It's been my benefactor for many years. They've got great shows on right now. The Henry Art Gallery's got a Paul McCarthy show and an MFA show. Bellevue has a wonderful show of furniture.
Seth Rollins.
Thank you, Seth Rowland, and the Ebony, 50 years of the Ebony Fashion Fair. Gotta read my notes here, sorry. Bellevue, the Fry has an excellent exhibit right now too, called Youngbloods, and that's Noah Davis and Khalil Joseph and the Underground Museum. Highly recommend it. There you go. There's the local plugs. There's lots of other great stuff going around. The Museum of History and Industry, our wonderful hosts, you just walk out there, take a look. It's great. So I'm going to run through some thoughts on planning and installing video exhibits in a fairly non-linear fashion, wading over ever so shallowly into the tech aspects, mainly because I'm old, and coming from the point of view of beginning my 25 or so years as prep at the Henry Art Gallery, when video was not as prevalent in the institution as it has become during my tenure. I've got enough interest in it to get me in trouble, but not enough not enough experience where I would consider myself an expert. We learned on the fly. The Henry's was just a small operating institution, not unlike BAM. Feels very similar, and we had to. We are constantly we were. When I was there, it was like a constant state of install, where we were just going from one install to the next install, the next install. So then you come up against an artist who needs something really video crazy, and then that would be the thing that would spur the learning for what I learned as we went. Because I raised my hand and said, yeah, I can do that. So as a result, my scope's going to be fairly narrow because I've spent most of my time at the Henry, and I'm sure you all have similar experiences, as that tends to be the nature of the beast. So I approach this in much the same way as when we first started talking about it, as a series of questions. That little handout, that if there's any outline of what I'm talking about here, scare it up. But I am going to talk a little bit about advanced planning, and here we go. When I started, it was the 3/4 inch deck, and when I left, we made it to the Raspberry Pi. And so this is sort of the equipment that I've experience just on the playback side. And also with projectors. I did not work with the Marconi 3 Canon projector on the bottom, but everything else, including that middle one, the Sony, we had two 1292Qs that weighed about 180 pounds, and they would always want to suspend them from the ceiling. So that was always fun. So, in advanced planning, who is the point person? Usually the curator of the exhibition gets the ball rolling in design planning with the exhibition design head preparator. Information about the project is then communicated to the persons heading up the installation of the video work. This is a piece that we did a few years back. It's Doug Aking. It's entitled "I Am in You," and it was a five-channel synchronized projector piece. One of the earlier ones that I had to come up with, and it was located in the south gallery space on the north end, where the ceilings are 24 feet tall. And so we had to suspend projectors to about an 8-foot height in order to get the correct, in order to get the right angle on the images without overlapping. And as a result, we had to. This was a local collector's work. They supplied the 4 of the 5 projectors that we needed. They were Christie projectors. So part of the planning and looking at this is actually pulling out all this old, because even at that time the equipment was kind of old, pulling it out, turning it on, see if it all works. And of course the 5th projector had a blown pixel. So we had to send that away in due time, get it fixed, bring it back, and then still move forward with the exhibition. That kind of thing kind of happens regularly with the older equipment. What we get from Doug, their Doug Studio, is an elevation. This is how we used to do it. Now you do it with SketchUp and other things. But we got this, and it was all it's all in centimeters, obviously, showing the relative positions of the projectors. And here's the floor plan. So you see the 3 forward projectors and the 2 side projectors crossing over across the other 2 projectors, and then all the equipment is all packed in here, back here, and it's synchronized, and it's all running on with BNC coax. So that's kind of old. So this is another view from another gallery. Back to Barnes. Does it? Another